Welcome back to the Facts Matrix. Today we're journeying back to ancient Greece to uncover the epic story of the Trojan War. It's a legendary tale filled with gods, heroes, and one of the most famous tricks in all of history, the Trojan Horse. So grab your shield and sword, because we're about to dive into a conflict that has fascinated the world for thousands of years. The Trojan War, most famously chronicled in Homer's epic poem, the Iliad, was a massive decade-long siege. It all started when Paris, a prince of Troy, ran off with Helen, the beautiful queen of Sparta. Her husband, King Menelaus, was not pleased, to say the least. He called upon his brother Agamemnon and the greatest kings and warriors of Greece to sail to Troy and bring her back. This massive fleet launched a war that would echo through eternity. But is this story real? Well, it's complicated. The Trojan War beautifully blurs the line between history and myth. Archaeologists have actually discovered the ruins of a real Bronze Age city in modern-day Turkey at a site called Hisarlik. Many believe this is the historical Troy from the legends. However, Homer's account isn't just a dry historical record. He weaves in powerful gods who take sides, meddle in battles, and shape the destiny of mortals. So while a real war likely happened, the story we know is an epic blend of fact and divine fantasy. Speaking of epic, let's talk about the heroes. On the Greek side, you had a lineup of ancient superstars. There was Achilles, the greatest warrior of his time, said to be nearly invincible. You had the mighty Ajax, a powerhouse defender who could hold off an entire army. And then there was Odysseus, the clever and cunning king of Ithaca, whose brain was just as dangerous as his blade. Facing them were Troy's own champions, led by the noble and courageous Prince Hector, Troy's greatest protector and a devoted family man. A central theme of the Iliad is the famous Wrath of Achilles. After a bitter dispute with the Greek commander Agamemnon, Achilles, in a fit of rage, withdraws from the battle. Without their best fighter, the Greeks suffered devastating losses. It's only after a personal tragedy that he returns to the fight, and his rage-fueled comeback completely changes the course of the war. His story also gave us the famous phrase, Achilles' heel, a later myth that tells of his one mortal vulnerability, a powerful symbol of how even the strongest have a weak spot. According to the legend, this brutal war dragged on for a grueling 10 years. The beaches before Troy were stained with the blood of heroes from both sides. There were incredible one-on-one duels, massive pitched battles, and constant interference from the gods. Zeus, Hera, Apollo, Athena. They all had their favorites and weren't shy about stepping in to help them. This divine meddling was a core belief for the ancient Greeks, showing that human lives and fates were always intertwined with the will of the gods above. After 10 long years of stalemate, it became clear that brute force alone wasn't going to break down Troy's impenetrable walls. This is where the brilliant mind of Odysseus came into play. He realized that if they couldn't break through the gates, they'd have to get the Trojans to open them themselves. He devised a plan that was as daring as it was deceptive: the construction of a giant hollow wooden horse. Under the cover of night, the Greek army pretended to give up. They packed up their camps, boarded their ships, and sailed away, seemingly defeated. But they left behind a gift on the shores of Troy: that enormous wooden horse. The Trojans, overjoyed and believing the war was finally over, saw the horse as a victory trophy, an offering to the gods. Despite some warnings from a few wise voices, they triumphantly dragged the massive statue into their city, sealing their own doom. That night, as the Trojans celebrated their supposed victory, a hidden door on the horse swung open. A small, elite group of Greek soldiers, led by Odysseus, crept out into the sleeping city. They overpowered the guards, threw open the main gates, and signaled to the Greek army, which had secretly sailed back. The Greeks poured into Troy, and the city was sacked in a single night of fire and fury. It was a brutal, catastrophic end. A victory won not by strength, but by unparalleled cleverness and deceit. The Trojan War wasn't just a story, It became a foundational myth for the entire ancient Greek world. It inspired centuries of art, literature, and theater, and its heroes became the ultimate role models for Greek identity and the heroic code. The tale of bravery, honor, and tragedy shaped how they saw themselves and their place in the world. Even today, the Trojan War remains a fascinating puzzle, sitting at the crossroads of archaeology and myth. Scholars continue to debate how much of the story is historical fact and how much is poetic invention. But what's undeniable is the timeless power of its themes: honor, fate, glory, and the devastating cost of war. These are ideas that still resonate with us today. The Trojan War shows us how a single story can shape a culture and echo through the ages. Well, there you have it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of history's greatest legends, please give this video a like and subscribe to the Facts Matrix. Your support helps us to bring you a new video each day. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time when the Facts Matrix brings you more facts on people, places, and beyond.